Now let us talk about the basics of data cleaning. In this session, we will work to identify common data cleaning issues and also help you to identify resources for working with Google Sheets and Kumu. For every data point that you enter into the dataset, you need a consistent structure. So that means you have to pay attention to the detail. For example, when working on making a Kumu map, you'll be entering elements into the Google Sheet. Each element will need at a minimum a label and a name. Let's look at the label and the name columns in this worksheet. As discussed in the previous module, you have two tabs. The first being a connection tab and the elements tab. At the moment, let us focus on the elements tab. You will need to consistently use a structure for creating each label and name. For the database to work properly, the label cannot have any spaces in it. For rise in our labels, we use the acronyms for the organization if it had any, and if not, we had to create a short label. So, for example, BRC is an actual product that has a short name of BRC. So we could use that for its label. If you are to move to Bread for the World's name, needed to be shortened to make it a label so that we can have Bread for the World as one word. For Bright Petrol as well, we took that name and removed the space to make a label Bright Petrol as one word. The key is consistency and to make sure there are no spaces in the label. This is critically important for Kumu to be able to read your data properly. So, whatever module you use or choose to use, make sure you stick to that and be consistent. Now let's see how that looks in the connection tab. In the connection tab, when I search for BRCK element I made, I see it is now connected to other elements like MTS. And if I continue to search for the other element Bright Petrol, it is connected to, for example, CEB, and also CEB is connected to CMAD. But if you notice the pattern in how the elements are written, if the element is an acronym, the whole string of letters are capitalized. If the element is made up of two or more words put together, then each new word begins with a capital letter and all the other letters are written in lowercase. Why is this detail so important anyway? Well, in order for the software to find out what you listed as an element in your Elements tab, it must find the same exact spelling and structure for what is written in the Connections tab. Now you notice here that an element can be connected to more than one other element. We will learn more about this as we go on. But for now, it's important that you take your time and put in the quality data so that you will end up with visualizations that you are wanting. It is also very important when entering numerical data such as phone numbers, email addresses, web links, that you consistently use a same structure. Take some time and explore the Kumu Innovation Ecosystem map, and you can see how that data looks like. For example, on the Kumu map, let us search for Mogadishu Wat. You now see Mogadishu Wat as an element, and you see its description, its type being innovation focused. You will see it being tagged as competition, energy, innovation, and Somalia. You see the address linked. You see the connection, and we will learn how Kumu gets these connections numbered. You see a Facebook link. You see the name and a website. all of this being displayed, the information being displayed, comes from the Google Sheet. Let's take another example and search for Somaliland Ministry of Agriculture and Irrigation. This is what is displayed based on what data that we want to use for the RISE database. You'll see the address, number of connection, email, name, and website. So again, the final data displayed will be based on the data you entered in your Google Sheet. So be keen on what you use.